you have any questions, I know we were talking a little bit about it, or Jim.
No, can you just give everybody, Jim, tell a little bit about Jim right quick?
Sure, I'll let Jim, go ahead and just share. Jim, uh, what year did the product come out? About 2015?
Yeah,
Long
just
before
over
that.
20 years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if you don't mind just sharing a little bit, Jim,
Sure.
in regards to, a little bit about yourself and, a little bit about the product.
Yep. So about me, let's see. I grew up in the greater New York area in New Jersey, northern New Jersey, and I went to New Jersey Institute of Technology, which is one of the top 5 engineering schools in the country, and right there in New Jersey. And so I have a degree in engineering, and I also have a master's degree in education and theology. And I've continued pursuits in physics and chemistry and other sciences for the last 50 years, pretty much. It's just kind of an ongoing thing for me to be a continual learner. So a lot of my background was originally out of engineering school, was in technology. And I got hired by Texas Instruments right out of college and worked in the computer industry for a couple of decades, really. And it just got more and more specialized. And I worked with graphics and image processing companies. And the big company today that just got announced yesterday and today, NVIDIA, if you've heard of those guys, chip maker. They're now $100 billion a year company. And I knew them when the founders, when they first got started. It was funny. We had a trade show and we had a little 10-foot by table, with a little banner and sign on it from the graphics company I was with. And right next to our table was another little 10-foot table with 3 guys who said they were starting this new company called NVIDIA. And they were just getting going. It was very competitive, and I'll never forget that because it impressed me even then. And that was over 30 years ago. And today they just announced their earnings and blew everybody away, and their stock went over $1,000 a share, and
That's amazing. It's amazing. Oh, it looked like Jim got froze up there.
Oh, yeah, he'll come back.
Yeah. So, well, that's great. Guys, I had a question, I know earlier when I was talking to a few folks, what do we know about a company? But a company has, as you saw in the presentation, $1 million in insurance, and it's registered, EPA registered, and so there's a lot of data and testing and testimonials and everything you can think about when it comes to the green fuel tab.
Oh, welcome back, Jim.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I'm back. Internet dropped or something, but yeah. And then along the way, I kind of semi-retired from technology, even though I kept everything I've learned and all the background, of course. And I had my own consulting firm for a while because I knew so many people and companies. And at one time, I had a consulting project given to me with an oil company here in California. And I had already actually owned my own energy company about 10 years earlier. So I've always been interested in that. And working with this oil company in California, I realized that sooner or later, it may not happen tomorrow. And this was 25 years ago. But so it certainly didn't happen tomorrow. But I knew that we're extracting so much petroleum and oil out of the ground and there's a finite amount of it, right?
Mhm.
Today, worldwide, the world uses over 100 million barrels of oil every day. Okay, and that is with the use of electric cars, windmills, hydroelectric power, everything that we can think of. And the demand for oil goes up every single year. Okay, to where we're now using over 100 million barrels a day. Eventually, that's going to cause a problem. We're going to tap out our resources. Won't happen right away, won't happen overnight. But first, when something starts to become scarce, it becomes more expensive, right? It won't just disappear. But and this is beginning. We're at the very beginning, the foothills right now. So gasoline, we're starting to see in the U.S. The national average is $4 a gallon, approximately. In California, it's over $5 a gallon. Internationally, it can be twice as much. All right, Tony, how much is your cost in Australia even?
Well, we're paying at the moment 2.20 a litre, so let's call that $1.90 times 3, 9.57. In US dollars, probably around about $5.65 to $5.70 a gallon.
Yeah. So,
New Zealand,
you're even
New Zealand is $7 a gallon. In US.
7 a
Wow.
gallon, right? Yeah.
This part of the globe below the equator is actually really starting to feel the crunch.
Wow.
Yeah, and Northern Europe is also that way. And
Oh,
I tell people in the US, in California, it's $5, but the day is coming where we're going to be paying $10 a gallon, and that's already happening in Europe and Israel, other countries around the world. So that is because fuel gradually is becoming more scarce. Okay, so that's one problem in and of itself. And I thought if we can create something that will help solve the problem or mitigate it, make it better, then give us better mileage. And the other half of the problem and equation is the environment, and everybody's aware of this. And that's why they're making electric cars too, which have their own difficulties and challenges. But the environment, pollution has become a global problem. It's not just here in the US, China, um, lots of the worst cities in the world are in China and India today. So, this is and guess what? Every year the global population increases, right? So as we have more people, we have more energy demands and we have more pollution. And we're burning more fuel every single year, and that's why. So, what can we do? A lot of people would like to do something to help the environment, whether it's they're just very aware of the environmental problems and pollution, or they've heard things about climate change, or wherever they're at on the spectrum, they want to help and they want to be kind of planet friendly and climate friendly and environmentally friendly, and they don't know how. What can they do? And do they go buy electric car, pay an enormous amount of money, and have high maintenance for it? No. Yeah, I agree, Joyce. That's not the easiest, best way to go at all. And there's problems with that.
I
But
just did a
if you
quick
could take,
I just did a quick check,
but
Jim, because you brought it up.
yep,
And the price of gasoline in London right now in US dollars is $9.07 a gallon.
wow, it's really gone up there
That's right now.
It's
right
unbelievable.
now today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and much of Northern Europe is over $10, between
Right.
$10 and $12 a gallon. So, you know, here we have a solution. We've developed a little green tablet, right? Looks like just a little green pill for your car or anything that uses fuel. So for your boats, for your trucks, power generators, everything. Anything they use is gasoline or diesel fuel. Okay. And it will help the fuel to combust and burn more completely and more efficiently. And, you know, there's chemistry involved, and we have our own proprietary physics process that releases most of the energy that's within the formula. And it's partly why we get such outstanding performance from it. So we like to say conservatively that you're going to save 10 to 20% on your fuel, getting better mileage. Sometimes it's more. Tony and I have both seen vehicles get over 30, 35, even 40% improvement in mileage at times. But we don't want to promise, you know, what we see at one end. The average that pretty much everybody will get is 10 to 20%. And at the same time, by burning the fuel more completely, you have less waste, which is what emissions are. And with less emissions, you have clean air. So we had one number up in the PowerPoint there of an 86% reduction. That was on a diesel engine performed on a ship, and we've done them on ships and cars, trucks. I just had my own 25-year-old vehicle, my Ford Explorer, smogged recently, and the guy at the smog station came to me and he said, "Your numbers are so low, they're like a brand new car." He goes, "What are you doing?" And I got to tell him. So, you know, it works, and it works in everything. Yep.
That's amazing. Yeah, so we have a super product here, guys, as you can hear from the formulator and inventor here. Any other questions for Jim? Anyone?
That's EPA registered in the USA, correct?
Yes, that is correct.